Hey, welcome back to Bankrupt Acres. If this is the first time you're visiting the channel, we really appreciate it. My wife and I building a new chapter in our life here on 3 acres in eastern Iowa. Uh, Building a barndominium, about a 100 by 40-foot building. Half of it will be living space, and the other half will be a shop. And we're going to try and document everything we do in the process. So it's been a little while, and as you can see, we're pretty much at the same stage we were on the last video. So the problem being we've had some weather, and we're at a stage in the build where we're putting on the tin on the outside metal on the building. When it gets above 25 miles an hour or so, really above 20, it's tough for these guys to work, especially this high up with those big sheets of tin. So you either damage the tin or you damage a person, and we don't want either to happen. So the builder's being cautious, which I think is good. We're in a position where we're living in an apartment on the property, so we're okay for the time being. But it is frustrating because we were kind of moving along pretty quickly, and now we're kind of grinding to a halt. So today we got the electrical dug into the property from across the road, so everything's underground to our property, and they're putting a transformer box. They're going to run the line down to our new building, and then they're going to also run a new line to our building we're living in and put a new meter on that. So there'll be two separate meters. We'll probably rent out that other property when the this build's done and we can live in it. So but you can tell we're getting towards the end of the afternoon, and it's really starting to, it's still blowing around today. So tomorrow doesn't look much better. So today is what, Monday? No, Tuesday. I'm getting all confused. We had a wedding this weekend, and it was a 3-day weekend for me. So I'm trying to figure out what day is what. So tomorrow's Wednesday. Probably not till Thursday will they get back on the tin. So we're kind of waiting too. Once I get the tin done, then we can put up the new meter for the electrical on this building. In this county in Iowa, they have a energy savings heat plus program. So we will actually end up with 2 meters on this because we're doing all electric heat, and we'll end up with 2 meters on the building we're living in because it'll be all electric heat. And then they give you a very reduced rate from, I think it's October to April for your electrical on those heating sources. So that's going to save us a lot of money compared to what we paid last year on that apartment building. So hopefully we can get all that done before the snow flies. The big thing right now is getting our geothermal, which is at the end of the building over to your right. They're going to dig a big pit. We're going to put in the geothermal loops, run those up into the where you see those red pipes in the floor coming up. That's our utility room. Pipes will come up in there, and they'll go up to a 2nd-story mezzanine where our geothermal units will be sitting. So we'll have in-floor heat run off geothermal, and then we'll have a water-to-air geothermal unit that will do the forced air through the rest of the house also, so for air conditioning and heat also supplement. So, but we need to get that in the ground soon, because as you can tell, we are deep into fall now, and we had snow this past weekend up here, and the ground's not going to be suitable to digging for too much longer. So hopefully I'm praying in the next 2 weeks, say some prayers for us and give good thoughts, but hopefully in the next 2 weeks we're going to have all that in the ground. We're going to have the tin on the building, so it'll be fully enclosed, except for the garage door here, which I'm sure we can plastic off. But then they'll start working on the construction on the inside, getting our interior for the living space done. Once they get that done, we'll bring in the subs again, start doing our rough-in electrical, plumbing, so that can get inspected before we do the spray foam. And then while their subs are working inside doing the duct work for the heating and air and the plumbing and electrical, then our builder's going to go back, cut the holes, put in all of our doors and windows, which are already on site, which came in the kit from Wix. So it's going to look like a barn for a little bit with no windows or doors until they get the interior done. And then once we get the windows and that stuff in, electrical rough in is done, then we'll spray foam it if we can get the building heated enough. And I think it's got to be above 40 to do the spray foam. And then after that, then we can start working on the final touches, drywall, you know, the interior tin in the shop, finishing out all the electrical and plumbing. So how far off are we? That's the question we keep asking. So it's what, the 11th of November right now. So I'm hoping by the end of January we're living in here. So we may not be completely done. In fact, I know we won't be completely done because we still have some outside concrete work that's going to have to be finished in the spring for our porches. I got a little video of that, and we'll throw up some drone stuff because that was one of the last things they did before the framing inspection, which they passed. So I'll show you a little bit of the putting up the porch. And so that's all ready for tin also. And hopefully we're off to the races now once the weather settles down this week. So we've got about a week of good weather, I know, but I don't think that's going to be enough to get everything done we need. So I'm hoping the following week, I haven't looked that far ahead, but I hope we don't have any big storms coming. So thanks again. I really appreciate it. Take the time to subscribe if you haven't and follow this journey. I've got 2 other videos coming up I'm going to do. We're going to refinish an old cast iron tub, or not tub, a sink that's going to go in our shop bathroom. And then I've got to replace that window on the Kioti NS6010. So those will be 2 that are kind of off topic from the barndominium build, but hopefully everyone will enjoy that. So I appreciate everyone subscribing. We keep getting more and more subscribers. Hope you like this content. Obviously, give me suggestions on what you want to see, or if you have questions about certain things that you want a little deeper dive into, and we'll try and do that. So be kind to each other, and thanks for clicking. Hey, I wanted to let you in on one more thing before we close out this video. So we've had some struggles with WIC buildings on this project. Part of the reason we're so far behind is because they could not get us the plan set with the permit drawings to start the construction. So that delayed the whole actual building of the building at the factory. We had to wait till that was approved by Linn County. Then we got the plans approved. They started construction, then delivery. So what was supposed to be a June 1st delivery of our building that we ordered in March got here mid-October. I think around the 17th, if I remember right. So huge delay that we weren't expecting. And the problem with that is now we're, just like we stated at the beginning of the video, now we're in this point of the construction where we need to get some of this exterior stuff done, but the weather's not cooperating. So we're at the worst part of the building season. It's getting cold, snow's starting to fly, the ground's getting hard. Not ideal at all. I say that and preface it by for the reason that we actually got a bill from Wix yesterday that we have already paid the full contract price for the building, and we got another invoice for an extra amount of money. I want to be honest through this build with everyone, and that was a purpose of documenting it for everyone, because I know there's struggles and exciting parts and everything else. But if you're clicking on this, you probably want to know what it costs to build a barndominium and what it takes and all the steps and the processes. I want to go into that cost and give you the exact amount. And if we get over 1,000 subscribers, I'll give the whole cost breakdown for the entire project at the end. But right now, I'm going to give Wix a little time to figure this out. And hopefully we can come to an agreement on this bill I just got, because we don't feel like we should have to pay it. And we've had some talks with the builder who is our sales rep for Wix, but he's also contracted separately to build the interior of the building and put the building together, which is not through Wix. It's through his separate company. And he's wanting to work with us, I know for sure. I want to see what Wix is going to do. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt for a little while. We will roll back to that subject in a little bit, but that was a disappointing day yesterday too on that deal. So our budget has taken a hit from the get-go, from day one, when we sat down with the builder to come up with the plan and the cost. Unfortunately, we had already ordered the building part, this part. So the actual kit, I'll give you that, was $125,000 just for all the lumber, all the tin, all the doors, all the windows, everything that makes it the building. That does not include the interior wood and framing for the interior portion of our living space. So that's a separate cost. Again, we can go into everything at the end, but when they delivered 2 semi-loads, it was enough to get it to where it is now, plus the tin, plus the windows, plus the doors. So hopefully we're not going to have to pay much more than that. I'll just leave it at that. But again, I appreciate everyone out there that's watching, and you guys be kind to each other and wait for the next one. We'll see what we do. Hopefully it'll be putting on tin. I got to go fly, but I'm going to try and get some drone footage of at least them getting part of this building tinned up. So thanks again.